The blues or boogie shuffle is probably the first thing everyone learns on the guitar. And there's a good reason for that. It's quite simple and it's an integral part of blues playing, let it be electric or acoustic playing. But if you listen to Eric Clapton's Unplugged CD or anything like that, you won't hear much of this, at least not as in a simple or rudimentary form like this. So in this lesson I'm gonna show you a few ideas how to spice it up. And you can get the tab on Patreon if you want a downloadable PDF or Guitar Pro format. And of course, thank you for thinking about supporting me. But back to the lesson, we are in the key of E, let's say E major. And you know the basic shuffle is. And you can do that of course, but an easy way to spice up is to bring in the top two strings E and B. So you can use these like an open double stop, picking both strings at the same time, or you can break it up like this. You can also play with the rhythm, add some syncopation like this. So the first and the third was the syncopated version. So it's a great way, fun idea to just add some spark to it. But of course, you know, don't overdo it. And you might also know how to get to the 4 chord. It's basically just walking up on the F sharp, G sharp notes, and then you arrive to A, which is the 4 chord, and you can basically do the same thing as you did in E, just 1 fret higher. And there, if you wanna keep up with the same motif, you would use this A7 shape, which I'm sure you know. It's basically just fretting this G on the 3rd fret on the 1st string. And of course you can do this, which I'm guessing you heard a lot of times by the guy, and everyone do it on the electric. So fun thing here is that the G note is the minor 3rd of the E chord, which we are going back to, so it fits that perfectly, and the G is also the dominant 7 of A, so it's a great way of bridging between the 2 chords. And you're back in E, and you doesn't necessarily have to play on the high strings. You can do a boogie woogie like vamps or yeah, basically just bass sort of vamps here. These notes, and again, helps you spice up. And if you go back and forth between high strings and these low sort of riffs or licks, it's pleasing to the ear because you're changing it up once again, not just playing the plain old shuffle. And then when we get to the 5 chord, B in this case, I like to do this sort of major chord move, which you may know from Hendrix or country, that basically you're just using this power chord shape and then kind of going into another shape, because this would be the A shape and this would be the G shape if you're thinking in terms of caged chords. So basically you're just putting up the major 3rd here. This would be the classic Hendrix mode. So I quickly do this on the 5 chord, and when we go to the 4 chord A again, I do this, which I heard Clapton do a lot, I think, on Unplugged. That's probably the first thing where I heard of it, but everyone does it. Is the well, I guess number one lick for the A chord in an E blues. You're basically just outlining the A major chord shape with a small chromaticism. You can just pluck in an A note and play over it, or you can keep the rhythm going. Depending on what you're going for, and then just a basic turnaround lick. Or you can do the other one. And then we are here in the second round, which I played something a bit more country, hence the hat, because it's way more snappier, not this boomy, fat backing, but it's a more snappy, more countryish sort of roadhouse thing, and the sort of move. I kind of get this from Chet Atkins, but again, that's something that many people did. Chet Atkins has this song, A Young Thing, and this is sort of the main theme. Main theme is very similar. So basically, what you're doing here, you're taking an A chord and then coming back to E, A, E. And then you're basically bouncing the 4th and the 2nd frets on the A string against the lowest E string. You can do this without these fancy uptown bluesy sort of lick. You can just do the shuffle like. Something like this. And you can do it as well. So this is a great way to pop out these notes. So yeah, and this is basically just different. It's a whole different feel. It's good to know about that. And with the A chord, I'm just coming up here, basically pushing everything up from the E position to the A position, and that's that. And then basically, yeah, for the B chord, I'm kind of going with what Chet Atkins did on Young Thing, but not exactly how he did it. Basically, you're walking up. This is the walk up to the 5 chord. But I'm doing an F sharp minor because it practically makes it a 2-5 chord progression, playing the 2 chord is F minor, which is the 2nd chord in E major, and that directly brings us to B, which is the 5th of E, and F sharp is the 5th of B. So anyway, it's like a circle of 5th sort of thing, but let's not get into that right now. So basically, I'm doing this this is basically already a turnaround. Just you can kind of look at it as the top notes of a G sharp minor, G minor, F sharp minor, and E major. But this is just the first part of the turnaround. I do a second one, which is again an uptown blues sort of lick. But basically, I'm just doing E, doing this chord fragment, then full A7, A dominant 7, C7, B7, and then back to E. And the reason or why I'm arranging it this way, because I basically want to do, so this is the melody of the turnaround, and you're basically just playing chords that fits this melody. You can just do it by it like this: E, E7, A7, C7, B7. That's also a good way of spicing up your turnaround. So yeah, this is sort of like a two-in-one sort of lesson. We talked about the turnarounds as well. We talked about the shuffle itself, and I hope it helps you spice up your rhythm playing and backing up. This is a great way to use when someone else is soloing over you, or you're just playing something behind singing, either if it's you or someone else singing. So I would say learn these and maybe even come up with new things in this vein based on what I just showed here. Alright, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments, or I'm obviously engaging not just YouTube commenters but Patreons as well, or patrons on Patreon. And I have a hard time separating these two words, Patreon. Two separate things. Well, I guess there's a correlation. Don't mind that, I'm babbling already. So thank you for watching, see you next time.